Like, so whenever I meet people like you and Ben Francis, who is similar age to me, who has like similar life ambitions, I see it as like this really amazing, rare opportunity to learn for myself and to ask, honestly, like selfish questions. And I saw on your Twitter, I think it was over the mental health week period, you did a tweet where you talked about your experiences with depression, burnout, and anxiety. And from what I know about your story, you experienced those things in that order.
Yep.
So I think that's a good place to start, which is, let's talk about depression and the role that depression played in your life and where it came from and how you've overcome or are overcoming or handling depression.
Yeah, so interesting actually, because I realized when I started to talk about mental health stuff, even more interestingly than what you've just said, I kind of realized that I'd been burying another mental health problem. So actually the tweet was more depression, burnout, anxiety, and insomnia. Mm-hmm. But actually, it's really interesting. I did a podcast interview with a nutritionist called Rhiannon Lambert. And when I was preparing for that, I was going over the fact that I'd grown up fat and the fact that, I probably did have an unusual relationship mentally with food. Mm-hmm. And suddenly, like I was unpacking what had happened in my 20s, and I actually had bulimia. I used to throw up for like 4 to 5 years, not intentionally though. This was like quite unusual, but that's how deeply rooted this mental health problem was. I would eat something and I would throw a lot of it up. My friends would like know about this, but it wasn't like labeled. And I went to, specialists in Harley Street to see what was up. And they were like, medically, you're fine. So psychologically, there's something there. Anyway, I haven't done it since I was about 26 or whatever, but it suddenly occurred to me a few weeks ago, really interestingly, that being able to label like the time I got depression, the time I got anxiety, the time I got insomnia, the time I was burnt out, I remembered those moments. This one, I'd actually buried as a story, mm-hmm. right? In my head, I'd never expressed it in my whole life to anyone publicly at all, full stop.